Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today we're going to talk about 3 third-party games that I want to see come to Nintendo Switch 2. None of these games have been announced, but I do think that these are games that we probably, well, at least 1 or 2 of these might actually come to the system, so let's just get into it. Let's start with the game that I wanted to see come to the Switch. It didn't come to Switch, so hopefully Switch 2 because of the more RAM seems to be the issue. And that is Deep Rock Galactic. Deep Rock Galactic is such a fun multiplayer game. It has a single player, but this game is primarily meant to be multiplayer. You're dwarves, you go in mining and procedural generation, there's a little bit of rogue-like elements, there's loads of upgrades, there's things to do, cosmetics, all this sort of stuff. And on top of that, the community, the company that makes it as well, Ghost Ship Games, you know, everything's so jolly around this game. It's such a nice community to be part of. I don't get involved too much. I play just primarily co-op with people I know. But the game itself is a fun time. If you haven't played this game, you might be turned off by the graphics. They're a bit more like low poly. But the idea is that you pick a class. There's 4 classes. You go on missions. There are quite a few mission varieties. There's a few different environments that you go to as well. And there's difficulty levels. And you go out and you have to mine for resources or use a drill dozer or these different things like collecting stuff. And while you're doing it, you have waves of enemies, kind of like Left 4 Dead. Different types of enemies do different things, and each class is good for and sort of suited to dealing with different types of enemies or different types of things that are happening. So if you're the scout, for example, your whole thing is to kind of illuminate the area, scout out what's about, and depending on what weapon you take, you might be designed to do a bit of crowd control, you might be designed to take on specific targets. Very movement heavy class. And then on the flip side, you've got someone like the driller who is about getting around and can mine quicker than the other classes and stuff. It is a phenomenal game, and it has such a lot of content in it. I would love it if this came to Switch 2 with the ability for cross-save, because I already have about, I want to say anywhere between sort of 600 to 700 hours of this game, I think, on my Steam account. I'd like to be able to continue doing it rather than starting afresh, but I would definitely be down to play this game again from the beginning if it does come to Switch 2. I think it'd be perfect. I think you could do like game share would be perfect for it, game chat is perfect for it. The Switch 2 setting itself up to be a really good co-op multiplayer system with these features. And I also think mouse mode, and that's going to be a theme through all 3 of these things. Mouse mode would be super cool because it's a first person shooter. It'll be accurate hopefully, but it'll work just as well with a controller. This is probably my number 1 game that I want to see from a third-party studio come to Switch 2. I know people are like, oh, Elden Ring, which has been announced, and all these other big franchises that people like, but Deep Rock has just been a pleasure to play the entire time. The events, the humor, there's so much about that game that just has character and personality, and you can't get that necessarily from just looking at still images, because you'll be like, oh, that's a funny-looking game. The voice lines and the things that happen in missions and stuff are just gold. It's so perfect for people to play in groups and have a laugh with. It's definitely the game that I am like, I want this to come to Switch 2. Make it happen. Next up, well, the next 2 games are 2 games I've played a lot recently. The first one is Tempest Rising. Tempest Rising is by far one of the best RTS games to be released in years, in my opinion. It really nails that Command & Conquer style, which is obviously what it's inspired by, but puts its own modernizations, its own twists. I love the setting, I love the game, I love the 2 different factions, the music is phenomenal. Shout out to all the composers on that game, did an amazing job. It's an RTS game, and now we finally have a mouse essentially attached to these Joy-Con, which will make RTS games be able to be played so much easier on a console. Now, it's not like you haven't been able to plug in a mouse and things like that in the past. However, the mouse is built into the Joy-Con. By buying the Switch 2, you get those Joy-Con with it. You've already got a mouse. And I genuinely think it would be easier for developers to port games to Switch 2 now that are like very PC-centric, like something like Tempest Rising, because you could do it with a controller, but now you have way more precision. It means you probably don't have to edit the UI as much. If you're a big fan of like classic RTS, like I said, Command & Conquer, stuff like that, this is going to feel right at home. I think maybe you might have to like potentially tune down the difficulty a little bit in the campaign, maybe. But if the mouse works like a normal mouse, or you can plug a mouse into the Switch, this game's perfect. This game would be so cool to get it on Switch 2. I'm definitely going to double dip if it comes to Switch 2. And also, if they do a physical, I'd be even happier with it. But it's a game that is just near and dear to my heart. It's one of my favourite games I've played this year because it's so classic fit. It's got the right feel for an RTS game. Everything about it I love, and I can't wait to see this company add more content. But they've got a third faction coming. I hope the game gets expansions. I hope it gets expanded in some way or whatever they end up doing. And they seem to be fairly active with their updates and balancing and putting more maps and stuff into the game. So I'm excited. You're probably going to see more of this on the channel anyway. But for Switch 2, this would be awesome. And also, a game like that would work really well with the touchscreen. If you want to play it in handheld, really nice high frame rate on the touchscreen. Being able to use your finger to do like all the building and all that stuff. That'd be super awesome. I would definitely play it like that as well. But the mouse mode is what interests me the most. That's why I want to see not just this game, but other RTS games come along like that as well. And the last game for today in this video that I also want to see, and it's a game I played incredibly recently, is Commandos Origins. Now I think this game has a high chance of coming to Switch 2 for the simple reason that Commandos HD Remaster 2 and 3 are on Switch. My PC didn't run it the best. I absolutely love Commandos Origins. I cannot believe we've got a new Commandos game in this day and age. I love it. I want to see this game come to Switch 2 because, again, I would double dip. The mouse mode would make this so fun to play. It's a real-time tactics game. If you don't know what Commandos is, it's a game where you have a squad of troops that all have different abilities and you are, in real time, trying to sneak around the map and complete objectives. There are other games like this from Me, who made Shadow Tactics and Shadow Gambit and Desperados 3. I would also love to see them come to Switch 2. Like, give me all of that stuff. Essentially, all three of these games, anyway, are a bit more, or I've played on PC. I want to see them come to Switch 2. But Commandos Origins is just good. I honestly just blown away by how good the new Claymore Games, I believe it is, has modernized this game to be, you know, a lot more easy to get into, I will say. It's not an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. These games are very difficult. But this one is a good starting point. I think it's a good starting point. I would love to see more people get to play it. And again, Switch 2 features, touchscreen, mouse control. These things would work beautifully for a game like that. Being able to like tap on the commando, tell them when to move, tap on the icons to attack, sort of thing like that. And the mouse would just make it just as easy because that's how you play it on PC with a mouse. The other remasters, I believe, played with a controller, different things assigned to different buttons. So that's how you do it. I can imagine that being quite tough because these games require timing and precision. So there are a lot more other games that I would like to see come to Switch 2, obviously. Like third party across the board. All the big companies, all the big games I see coming out, I would love to see it. There's a lot of stuff from Microsoft I would love to see. Doom as well, like Doom would be an awesome one, but these three games I've mentioned today are the ones that I would love to see. Like, I like it, yeah, alright, I've already owned them. I will happily double dip on all three of these because I just think that the platform, especially Deep Rock for the social side of it, would be perfect for Nintendo's new game chat. The other two, the mouse mode, the touchscreen, would be perfect for it. And so I'm really, I'm crossing my fingers that at least one of these games do. I think Commandos has the highest chance. The other two, who knows? But mouse mode is going to bring a lot of these games that I play on PC over to Nintendo Switch 2, and that excites me. Yes, we're getting other big games that use controllers and all that sort of stuff. But these sort of games that don't necessarily play well on a console, Deep Rock probably does, but the other two, that's what I want to see come to Switch 2. Let me see how good these ports can be, and like with whatever features they want to use. I am so curious, and I hope to see, I'd love to see like Age of Empires come over, for example. Let Microsoft bring that over. There is already a console version of it. Let's get a Switch 2 version that uses the mouse. Let's see how good you can do with these things. Anyway, that's going to do it for me today then, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like the video, please hit the like button. It helps. If you want to see more content around this, and especially stuff around Switch 2, hit subscribe because that's what's going to be coming your way soon. And until next video, I will see you then.